I don't like the Roynado Brian Ortega. I can care less about that.
It is
Oh,
kind
your
of
boy, your boy, Gable Stevenson.
yeah, he's on there.
It's big news though.
Yeah, I'm seeing if Champ Browns is posting about it or where that.
Did
Oh
you get your
yeah,
page back?
no, bro. I mean, you want an update on it or what?
I guess. Damn.
So again, I don't want to give too much details because I was kind of updating the stream too, but it's like I'm just gonna hold my cards close to my chest on this one because I don't want anyone messing with getting my IG back. You feel me?
Oh
But
yeah.
um, in like real basic terms, I've been in contact with a lot of people, but it's like, you know, it's basically a chain reaction type thing. It's like I talked to one person, he referred me to another person, this person referred me to like a whole, you know, bunch of people who kind of have dealt with this situation. Once I got put in, you know, put on with these people, I kind of found like the guy who I had to find the guy who helps them all get their accounts unbanned. You know, there's multiple people claiming they can kind of like help with that.
Right. Do
So
it.
I'm fishing through it, you know, like you got multiple offers to like unban my IG, right? So I'm just like
Yeah.
listening to them all,
Are they
trying to.
trying to charge you?
Yes, some people trying to
Yeah.
charge, some people
Yeah.
saying you could do it for free. So it's like I'm just exploring all my options, trying to see like who's telling the truth and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also asking other people like, hey, this person says they charge. Like, is this guy legit? Is he not? So getting like other vouchers and stuff. So that's what I've been up to. But I'm not gonna, I don't want to, again, I don't want to say exactly everything I've been up to, but I've done everything I can do.
Yeah.
I've exhausted every fucking resource possible. And I thought that that was gonna make me feel better. But it's like, it doesn't make me feel better at all because now I just got to sit on my hands and literally wait. Now there's literally nothing I could do.
Yeah. It's the
You feel
worst
me?
is when it's out of your control.
Yeah, so like over the last few days while I've been cuz like on Sunday
Are
and
we live?
Monday. Yeah, yeah. But
What's up, homies?
what up homies? But Sunday and Monday, you know, I was putting in like all that extra work to try to get the IG back, but I can only do so much. So like 2 days worth of work getting it back, it's like shit, there's nothing else for me to do.
Yeah.
And then it sunk in like Tuesday morning, yesterday morning it sunk in. I had like a terrible day yesterday cuz I was just like, fuck, bro. Like nothing to do. You know, like there's nothing I could do to get it back at this point. I'm just sitting around waiting. And it was like a
Yeah.
terrible feeling, but I'm having a better day today. You know how it goes.
Yeah. I do.
So yeah, what about you? You getting the X back or anything?
I don't think so.
No. It's
I
fucking
think it's
terrible.
over.
Is it over? Is it
It's
over?
been, bro. It's like I'm in limbo.
Yeah, you asked for like
You ever watch that the second movie of The Matrix? Or maybe it
I'm
was
not really well versed on the Matrix.
there's a scene where Neo is stuck in this train loop.
Hmm.
I'm in a loop of like that, never gonna get out.
That's how it feels for me too, but I mean, I've gotten a little bit of clarity, but it's still like until I get the fucking result, it's like, bro, did I,
Yeah,
you know, cuz I basically just all I could say is Instagram is so unresponsive
100%.
and like I'm getting to a point with it and like again, I'll once I get my IG back, I'll fucking like say more shit, you know, but I just don't want to say much until I get it back, but there's so many reasons as to why like they don't necessarily respond to these appeals. Like there's so many reasons why. Like you have to do so many things correctly to basically get a response on your appeal.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know filters for example,
Yeah.
like if you're searching for something, right? You're going to put on filters like if it's corn for example, you're going to make it, you know, 30 plus minutes. You're going to make some, you know, corn videos that were
Okay.
released in the last year, right? Some new
Okay.
shit, right? You get what I'm saying? But with Instagram too, it's like that. Like when you're appealing, like if you don't meet one of these criteria boxes, like these filter boxes, your email will never be seen, you
Mm.
know? And so that's what I'm learning about and then I got to go and do it, right? So it's like it's a lot of steps, bro. And then I mean, think about how much I had to do just to get that information.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, then you get the information, then you got to do it. And then it's like, now I'm sitting on my ass. And then I also doubled around and did like, you know, I did all the methods. Like that's one method, but then I did another method too. So like I literally did them all, and now I'm just kind of sitting around. But it just is so unfortunate that like I don't know, there's this whole like dark web for IG to get your IG back, and none of these people work for IG. It's just like, how the fuck is this happening?
Yeah. This is the world we live in.
It's super weird because it's this whole dark web side of things. Meanwhile, IG got no customer service, nobody to get through to. But then all these guys explain what's happening. It's like former employees or something. I don't even understand it.
Bro, I just said this to somebody because you know that we lost some our Twitter account, our X account.
Yeah.
You're talking about billion-dollar companies
Yeah.
with no customer support.
Nothing.
Billion-dollar companies.
But it's also like, yeah, billion-dollar company, and then you're ruining like people's livelihoods are on this, and you guys are just like it's kind of crazy, man.
It's a pebble, right? You're a pebble.
It just shows how insignificant I guess we are to the big grand scheme of things. But what I've been saying, like full circle, is like I think I might have said this last week too to you, but it's like, bro, if once I get my IG back, like I'm building up other platforms. I'm just getting my IG back on pure principle. You know,
but
like,
I see you running it on. I've seen you running it on X though. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I'm working on getting the numbers up more. You know what I realized though? I suffer from depression when there's no good MMA news throughout the week.
Oh, really?
It really gets to me.
Really?
It really gets to me.
Interesting.
Like the lack of engagement. I think
we don't need a Dustin Poirier episode from you, all right?
No,
like,
I'm just saying though. I think it's because
you live in SoCal. Let me just start marking up all the
good things. No, but on a scale of work, you know, I feel like when you're not getting that engagement because there's nothing good to talk about, it's like a lack of dopamine for the week.
But think about how a fighter goes through, bro. Like your identity, dopamine. Like
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can kind of now like look at that other side of the coin to be like, imagine on that scale.
Mm-hmm. Except the one thing I think is a bit different is fighters. I guess where I disconnect, I'd love to ask them. But for me, it's like you fight, you know, once, twice a year, 3 times a year, 4 times, but you go months and weeks without this dopamine rush. But they're doing fine. Or maybe it's the whole balance of things, like knowing in the back of their mind that they have something to train for.
That whole system.
It's a whole net that kind of like keeps them up, keeps them going.
Right.
Yeah. Same thing with this though. So I guess I do get where they come from a little bit with that, but at the same time, I kind of I mean, I think you're right. Well, dude, I should kind of like cut them more slack, huh?
Well, even think about this. Like, there's other areas of people like the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys just got arrested with a DUI. He's a CBS broadcaster. Maybe the homies in Tony Romo.
Yeah.
There was another one too. I'm trying to think off the top of my head who it was, but like multiple layers of Anthony Smith, right? There was another one right there. Multiple layers.
I would say too, is I only get low key depressed because I still need to make that bread. If let's put it like this, if I had $1 million in the bank, I'd be patient. 1 week of slow MMA news, I'm chilling, bro. I got $1 million in the bank. But 1 week of slow MMA news means like less cash flow coming in, less views. So I guess like that whole net kind of gets my mood swinging up and down. But if I have a lot of money,
in survivor mode.
As worried.
Yeah, you're in survivor mode.
Right. So again, it's the fighters, I don't want to come off as unsympathetic, but honestly, like sometimes I don't get their complaint about like the lack of dopamine and shit. Because it ties in, right? It's like I'm explaining, it's dopamine, but then it's also like financial stability. It's like I kind of more so, I get dopamine, right? But I'm chasing financial stability at the end of the day. Like, you know, dopamine, schmopamine.
All right. What do we got? Hey, so
wait, the chat, by the way, the chat's been fucking pissed that we don't be like reading it and stuff. So should we read it a little bit to start it off? I mean, we do have a decent show. I haven't been live for a couple days now because I told you getting the IG back, and then I was fucking down in the dumps yesterday. I can't even lie about that.
Oh, poor little Jacob.
I was down in the dumps yesterday, but we're back. We're back.
Hey boys, everybody drop a cry emoji in the chat.
Okay, so you want to read some chats or what?
Yeah, we can.
All right, pull it up on your thing because they were saying you like don't really. They can sense that you don't have it up on your end.
Oh, what
No,
happens
they were
is when I do,
gaslighting
I'm
us
like
both.
looking up like
They were gaslighting us both the other day. They're saying like, we don't read the chat that much. I was saying, bro, like, come on, man, you guys can't be so high maintenance. Like, it's a show. You guys are tuning in to watch us. Like, we try to show you some
well,
love,
hey, you notice what Anthony
Ariel
Smith,
fucking reads out super chats and shit only. Like, we read out the free chats.
what Brendan Schaub does now is he does just a chat day. But even when you watch that, it's kind of low key boring. Like you have to be okay. So I remember one time I was showing you one of the Twitch guys.
Mm-hmm.
He was so engaging with the chat because the chat was funny. And then you remember we were talking about the overlay of a voice.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a British guy reading all the crazy chats. Now that's funny. Like I could read that and watch that all day. We have to have another element to it. But
So
don't get
you've
me
tuned
wrong.
into some of the chats where they own or the streams where they only read chat and you think it's a bit boring.
Well, I mean, you
I
got to
think
add
it's kind
another
of boring
element.
too. I do think it's kind of boring.
You got to add another element to it, right?
Mhm.
Like you got to like some guys are so entertaining that they're able to add different filters, data points where it's like, okay, this is a almost like a gimmick. And so when other people come onto the show to watch it, they're like entertained, like, oh damn, what you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
if you're just arguing with the chat, oh bro, it's
It's
sick.
also a gimmick, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a thing, right?
Yeah, I do think
Like
that
if you're
some streamers only read the chats though, and they don't
that's
bring as
why
much to
that
the
day
table.
when you were going at the chat, that's why it was so entertaining.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Okay, well then let's read a few of the
Yo,
chats.
TJ, why do you associate with Barry, bro? He's so lazy, he will just bring you down.
This guy's Steppa always talking shit. That's all right.
Talk about Armin versus Rofi, bro.
Steppa's always talking shit. I can go live twice in a day and
It's
Steppa's still gonna talk shit.
Steppa, what city you from, bro? Rep your city. Hey, guy 944, rep your city. Meet Rocket, rep your
Nah,
city.
Steppa's a piece of shit though. Steppa's a straight piece of shit. I'm not even gonna lie about
Hey,
that. Fuck
you
your
know what?
city, Steppa. We don't give a fuck where you live, homie.
Hey, him and I just became real close.
No. Fuck Steppa. Fuck Steppa. Steppa's
him and I
straight the
about,
op.
him and I about to do this little side pod.
Oh yeah, is that what it is? Shit. Let's see how many views that one gets, Mr. Steppa, since you got all the fucking juice. Okay, but Soda Pop says he gave some context real
Shout out to
quick.
Soda Pop.
He says, I'm guessing Charles pulled out of Armand's scrap because of Allan's passing. So that would explain why it's Armand versus Mauricio Ruffy now.
Wait, who passed away?
Yeah. So we haven't even gotten to topics, but Allan Nascimento, he passed away.
The fighter.
You know, he's young, a little bit past his prime, but you know, he's like 34, 35 or something like that. He passed away of a heart attack.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, like full on context. Steppa
Okay,
says,
so they were in the
let's do it.
same
Shut
camp,
your
right?
bitch ass thirsty ass up, Steppa. Shut your bitch ass up, homie. You coming off way too thirsty.
He said, "Let's do it."
At the first sense of a fucking show with MTK, he says, "Let's do it." Shut your bitch ass up, homie. You so thirsty, homie. Anyway, yeah, that does make sense because I was wondering. I mean, I didn't have time to consider it because we saw that announcement like seconds before we went live, but that makes sense.
So maybe Ian Gary will back out and Michael Morales will step in. Because you know, since Ian Gary's Brazilian now.
He is a part of Chute Box, but
right.
But nah. Ian Gary, you know him. He kind of rides solo. Like Ireland doesn't claim him. You know, he goes wherever he like needs to be.
Let's see what the wifey says.
Yeah. Okay, so Space says early stream. What up, Space? Let's read just.
Space
we can't read them all, so we're just gonna read it. This is where you guys need to provide.
But this is what I'm saying.
Context.
Like we could just go and start reading all the comments.
Yeah, but no, I like the ones like Soda Pop though. I prefer the ones like Soda Pop where he's kind of adding to the show.
Oh,
for this one, we are. They need to know that they were bitching about it. They were saying like you don't read chats on this one, and it's like, look, we're not just gonna read out like the basic stuff on this one. Like you guys got to bring some of the juice. Like on the solo streams, you guys can say like random stuff and I'll read it out. But on this one, you guys got to give us some juice, or else we're just kind of wasting time. Because MTK and I can talk more about some shit, you know.
Yeah. What up, Space Kid?
So
where's Space Kid at? What city he's from?
Space is from Florida, I believe.
Okay, down south.
Yeah.
Kodak Black.
Yeah. Space raps as well.
Oh, that's right. That's what's up.
Guy94 says confirmed he is grieving for Nascimento, so Armand accepted fight with Ruffy. Interesting. That should not be good for Ruffy though. I mean, Ruffy got his ass beat by BSD. UFC just throwing Ruffy to the wolves on that one. Because
But
Guy
you
did
know
say
what?
talk about Arman versus Ruffy. So if you want my opinion, yeah, that's not a good fight for Ruffy. But you know, at least I mean that does make it so Arman still being active. But it's like, what do
I
you
forgot
make
who did
of?
Ruffy just beat? Michael Chandler.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what do you make of Arman? Like, okay, the lack of activity, right? Then he's claiming he's number one contender with the lack of inactivity. So he's stepping back in the cage, right? But it's not against Charles because Charles's friend just passed away. So now it's against a lower ranked Ruffy. You know, you got these other guys in the top of the division fighting bigger names, higher ranked dudes. I don't like. Is this supposed to help Arman's case? Because the last win is Dan Hooker. Now it's Mauricio Ruffy. Like, it's not like you could just fight anybody and get a title shot. You need to be knocking off the number one contenders.
Well, I think
What
in
do we
this
think about
instance,
this? Like, let's say best case scenario, he wins.
yeah, I mean,
Is
best
it
case scenario
title
wins.
shot?
I, okay, who right now is so it'd be Justin Gaethje. So yeah, I think they give him I think they give him Justin if he knocks out Rufi or if he submits him, I think they give him Justin.
Okay, who else would be waiting in the wings? No Ilya rematch.
No, Ilya, we've already know that.
Patty needs to get another win. Or no, Patty's coming off of a win.
Right.
Over BSD.
But he just lost to Justin.
He did just lose to Justin.
Armin's next. Armin gets a dominating win, gets a KO or submission. He's next in line.
Is anyone? I'm just wondering though, just to be thorough, is there anyone else in the top of that lightweight? Oh, I guess Charles and Max.
Right, but we know that. No, that's not.
But now
happen.
Charles is out. Max needs to fight somebody.
Max has a case, but like I said, if Armin does his job, he's next.
Can I say it like this though? I mean, I think you're right. I don't like it, but because of the timing of everything, Arman is going to benefit from it a little bit. But I don't like it. But you are right. I think Arman is next. I just don't really like it.
Because we got Charles, Max, Patty, Gamrot.
But you know, it's like, should Patty in a way, like, nobody's talking about Patty gets a title shot next. So that's not what I'm necessarily saying. But let's say like because Arman and Charles, right? Arman and Ruffy. But what if Patty ends up fighting a guy like Max? Oh no, because Max is sitting out till 2027. Ilya's gonna be out. So Patty's gonna be out too. Okay, yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it, but you're right.
I'm a big Ruffy fan though.
I know it, but he ain't of the caliber. But if he beats Arman, then I guess he would be of the caliber. But it's like,
dude's deadly, bro.
I mean, I know, but BSD,
he's dynamic. He's deadly. He's in a good age. Like he's tall. Like he's an athlete.
You know what I would like to see, like Ruffy versus Tom Nolan too.
See, for me, I think Ruffy has earned that top 5 guy. In my eyes, Ruffy he's gone through some guys.
Well, I mean, Ruffy, he's been dabbling in those waters. He could, you know, I'm not hating on Ruffy necessarily again.
Tom Nolan, to me, I don't think he hasn't earned that yet.
Maybe he hasn't earned it, but I think that it's like
See, look,
I think it's an even matchup. I think Tom Nolan might even beat Ruffy.
See, I don't think that.
Because Ruffy's like dynamic, but Tom Nolan's big. Like all that flashy stuff ain't gonna work on a guy like Tom Nolan.
But the thing is okay, so here's my thing with Ruffy, what you just said right now. So he beat Chandler, he beat Fasov, he lost to BSD, he beat Green, and those are like his top like last 5 like big names, right? Mm-hmm. So the Armin is another big name, and for me, when I see him fight, he is so dynamic and deadly that he is a game changer. Now BSD did
not have that takedown defense.
BSD did expose him on the ground, right? Mm-hmm. So my next question is can he clean that up? Because we know he's deadly on the feet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's my next question. And this is a good test. It's going to be a good matchup here because if he can stuff some of Armin's takedown and keep it on the feet and cut Armin, we're going to be like, whoa. Maybe Armin ain't that dude that we thought he was. He's going to be hovering a little bit over Armin too.
So you almost are going on saying like you think this is gonna be a close fight.
It could be, yeah. And not only that, I think Rufy has the skills to be the Carlos Pratis of that division.
Okay, I don't
He's
think this is gonna be a close fight at all.
Ooh,
I don't think
right.
it's gonna be close at all.
He said, DJ, bro, when are we making the pod, bro?
Steppa's thirsty ass. Yeah, Armand and I mean,
Damn, you're really high on Armand then.
well,
Because
of course I'm
Armand
high.
almost lost to Charles.
Well,
Remember?
remember, yes, he almost lost to Charles, but remember we were talking about this as far as the levels of grappling. And so like you got Patty who blew BSD out of the water, and then BSD blew Mauricio out of the water. So it's like I think Armand and Patty and Charles, they're on that little upper level above BSD. Well, they showed it too. So
Okay.
that's kind
There's
of
something to be said there.
Yeah,
There's
that's
something
kind
to
of
be
where I'm
said
at
there.
with that. But
There's
I
something
think
to be said there.
I think Ruffy's a dynamic dude. I think Armand's one of these guys. Just it's a lot. But
Let me say this too.
let's see it.
If
I don't hate
Armand
it.
wins, here's the thing. It's a win-win for almost a lot of things here. It's two younger guys, right? At least we're not saying, hey, Armin's fighting some guy on the back end. It's like, oh, all right, cool, whatever. Rufy just beat Chandler, who was on the back end, and beat him. Put that aside. So if Armin wins, he wins twice because he did a solid for the UFC, and it still puts him in that number one contention. If Rufy wins, we're gonna say, hey, these two guys now it's competitive. Like now this guy's the top 5 guy. Now he's gonna be making a run for it. And you get two guys in their prime that we get to see fight.
Yeah.
So it's a UFC. It's a win-win.
He would have like and
for the Charles fight, I was like, all right, I guess.
Yeah. For Ruffy,
Hey,
we shall see. We shall see.
Jew, how old is Mauricio Ruffy?
I'll just put it like this. I guess like I'm having a hard time doing it because I guess I like subconsciously don't want to shit on your being high on Ruffy, but I guess we could just say we're opposite. We're opposite. Yeah.
Hey,
we're opposite.
and that's why we do the pod, right?
Exactly. So everyone needs to know. Everyone needs to know.
We're always gonna be like, oh yeah, we agree 100% of the time.
No, yeah.
People would watch the pod, be like, all right, I guess, guys.
Yeah. So but so that's
that good cop, bad cop sometimes. You know what I mean? That honey vinegar.
And Gable Steveson just got booked against another no name. How are we feeling about Gable Steveson and this no name?
Okay, now the guy that booked him, I think I've seen him fight before.
Have we seen him?
Yeah. What's it? Shiraz? What's his name? Yeah, I do love the guy. I don't know why.
Franklin says MTK Weekly Wednesday. Yes, sir. Soda Pop says talk about Danny Silva.
PM.
What?
Wednesday at 3 p.m. Tell him. We'll book it.
Wednesday at what? No, 4 p.m.
No, with your boy. What's his name in here?
Oh, whatever the fuck his name is. He's not getting a plug from me. But
okay, so Sharaf lost to Asplund last. Oh, it's Sharaf's on the 2 fights.
He lost to Asplund, yeah.
And he got knocked out twice. Oh, bro, it's a setup. A setup.
Yeah, it's a setup, of course. So we won't be able to know anything, but it's cool.
No, bro, we ain't learning nothing on that one.
No. So Soda Pop says talk about Danny Silva stuff later in the show. I mean, we could talk about it right now. Have you heard about this?
Hold on, let's just real quick, Daniel Rodriguez versus Medic.
Okay.
I'm no higher on Medic than I was a week ago.
I'm a bit more high on him.
And it's funny because we both weren't that high on him just in general.
Yeah. I was probably less high on him.
So he's growing on you.
He's growing on me a little bit.
But see, to me, is like to do that to Daniel Rodriguez, it's like, okay. All right. Like,
because it looks like D-Rod is kind of like was washed. Did you look at the instant replay? Like only one shot really did it.
You know what I thought about it?
Like he hit his shoulder on another one and then the knee hit his chest.
Well, what I thought was clean is like, maybe he's in there, studying because Daniel Rodriguez too is like, oh, he beat me on that jab. And he did. He beat him on that jab with the overhand, was it left?
Mm-hmm.
So he was like almost countering that jab and he blocked, right? So we know he has power. We know
Medic's
we
a
know that
striker as well. You know, he's a natural.
right.
That's
We
his martial art.
right. So that I like. I'm just not that high off because of the guy that he beat. If it was, I don't know, like I said, if it was MVP, I'd have a whole different view on this. I think I'd text that to you. Um,
And you don't think he
and
beats MVP? That was
and I
that
don't
is
think
my question to you though. So do you want to see Medic get beat, or you just want that's something that would prove to you because you don't think he beats MVP?
I don't think he beats
So
MVP
why do you want to book him against MVP? That's my question.
because I then if he does beat him, I'm like, all right,
It's gonna
now
prove
let's
something
kind
to
of
you.
yeah, let's okay, now we're in this conversation, right?
Okay. And
Um,
going into it, you did think Medic was beating D-Rod, like you thought that was pretty obvious.
I remember we kind of talked it through, and I think we both kind of said, medic, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think we kind of both leaned on it. I was more hoping that Daniel Rodriguez was going to put up more than that.
yeah.
Like that was
It
nothing.
was really
Like it
bad.
was really bad. And it goes to like just show you, like I kind of had this vision. I was like, all right, you play it out a year from now. What will Daniel Rodriguez be at? Is he going to go on a 3-fight winning streak and be put back in his position again and be in the top 15 at 40?
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? And then it made me start thinking about Bobby Green. Bobby Green's on I think it was a 4-fight win streak. That he's easily around that corner too. He was around that corner, right? And he kind of picked back up, but there's a shelf life. It is what it is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I want these guys to have it, but like I wish we would have saw some of these versions that when they were 30.
Yeah.
You know, not at 40.
I hear you. It's hard for D-Rod though, because I will say he's been looking good in his late 30s. Right? Like the Ponzinibbio fight and stuff, the Kevin Holland, like he's turning back the clock a little bit. But I think those were two guys who are also not as much of like the elite top of the division. I think Medic is one of those guys. He's elite at the top of the division right now.
Yeah, and
So
here's the like
D-Rod just isn't really that championship caliber. I think that's what we found out. I
well,
think he
here's the
still
other
has some
thing.
good fun fights left.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing too. Think about this: like Joe Alvarez is about to fight Chitty. They took Jeff Neal off. I'm still high on Joe Alvarez.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking to see what else he could do for sure.
He's gonna knock out Chitty, bro.
Well, I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but Joe Alvarez is a
Chitty's
beast.
another one of these older guys, so I think they're probably trying to set up Chitty to get stopped and
Yeah, that's an easy win to put.
build up
Joel was
Joel.
yeah, Joel was a top 15 guy, and who did he lose to? That was it, Yaroslav?
Yeah, Amosov.
Yeah, on the ground, right? Like
Yeah, and
and
Joel
I was
also
going
lost to Armon early in his career.
so this Joel that would be another good matchup, Joel versus Medic, because they're very similar.
But
And
Joel went up. Oh yeah, and Joel's up at 170 now, so that is a good matchup.
Yeah, he's a welterweight. Yeah, he is a welterweight.
I think the thing the Chitty win isn't gonna warrant him Medic. You know what I mean?
Right. He's gonna have to earn that.
Yeah. I said though the winner of Buck versus Malott.
But they just put Kevin Holland in the top 15 and put Daniel Rodriguez.
Did they take D-Rod out? What about Mike Malott versus Buck? You think that maybe does the winner of that versus Medic interest you?
I think the loser.
The loser.
Yeah.
What does the winner
needs
get?
to fight. The winner needs to fight someone.
They get a top 5 matchup.
Yeah, come on now.
Okay. No, it's good. That's why I'm asking. I kind of like that. I wasn't thinking that far ahead.
Buck can't take a step back if he wins. That's 2 steps back.
Yeah, you're right, because it's a higher ranked fight anyway.
Right. You do your job, right?
Yeah.
You get a good win. You get it. You finish him. Now you're back in that top 5, top 10 conversation, right? You're just 2 wins away from putting yourself back in the top 5, top 3 conversation.
I kind of like stopped thinking about the rankings a little bit because obviously I'm confident Joaquin's gonna beat Mike Malott. And then I think the Joaquin versus Medic, when you throw rankings aside, that's a dope fight.
Yeah, but
rankings
to me,
aside.
And to me, if Buckley's already paid his dues, he does.
Yeah. He needs a higher ranked fight if he beats Malott.
Now if Malott wins, right, he's not going to want to go fight Medic. He's going to be like, oh, now I'm in the top 10. Now I'm chasing the number 5 guy. So the loser definitely Medic would be a good win because that'd be another win. Medic called out Leon Edwards, which is a good call out, right? Yeah, I just thought about that too. He called like, damn, everybody, Leon just getting a beating, bro.
Yeah, nobody really fucks with Leon, huh?
Well, bro, everybody's like, hey, just give me Leon.
Yeah. Well, because
I'll take
Leon
that.
kind of he operates a bit like
Hey, do you want that C on? He has a C on his chest, right? For
he's like
that,
the easiest former champ in their eyes.
exactly, bro. They want to take that, add that to the resume.
It wasn't
That
always
could be.
like that, but ever since he lost to
That's
fucking
what's.
Bilal.
That's what's crazy,
Yeah.
right? Oh, that's be another. Okay, Medic versus see, Medic versus Bilal. Bilal just lost, right? To Gabriel Bonfim. That's a good fight. Bilal versus Medic.
Okay. Okay.
That's a good fight.
Yeah, if I'm looking at the welterweight rankings,
JDM versus Medic too, and Anakinski MMA.
okay, so Euros Medic got bumped up to number 10. So Joaquin's at number 9, Mike Malot's at number 12. So I'm past that matchup though. I think that the loser of Joaquin versus Malot makes sense for Medic, but you said Bilal versus Medic. That's good. Bilal just lost. He's ranked number 7. Medic versus ranked 10. That one
And
makes
Bilal's
sense.
Bilal's on a 3-fight losing streak too, right? Leon Edwards on a
2-fight.
Is it 2-fight?
So
Leon
no,
maybe
3. JDM, Ian, and
Gabriel Bonfim.
yeah.
So in I just saw JDM versus Medic. Yeah, I mean Medic would love to fight JDM. That's another champion, right? I think that's too soon though. Like Medic, bro, he just beat Daniel Rodriguez. What are we talking? You know what I mean? Like, let's not make it. If he just beat JDM or Bilal, then we could have these other conversations. You need another feather, bro. Like, who has he really?
Well, he's gonna get a former champion in his cap with that feather with Bilal. That's good for him. That's like the best upside he can get. Bilal or Leon is the best upside for Euros.
Yeah, but see, like I said, I want to see him versus MVP. I think that's a real test.
You think him versus MVP?
MVP is about to fight Roselton, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's at middleweight. So I think Roselton's gonna have a hard time with MVP in that fight. He's too like in and out. He has that karate style, and he will beat you at that game.
Yeah, I like your matchups sometimes, and I do like, you're selling me on the MVP versus Medic. I can't lie. You're selling me a bit on that. It would be a fun matchup.
Because imagine if he loses, you're gonna be like, all right, let's kind of get back to the drawing board here. And that's not. Ian Gary barely passed by MVP.
Yeah, I feel like you want Medic to kind of like prove himself once more before you give him that cosign, like, okay, you belong in the top 10.
So like, Carlos Prates definitely has proved himself, right? Like just in too many ways. In too many ways he's proved himself, deserves where he needs to be at. Who's another? Gabriel Bonfim, beating Bilal Muhammad. See, that was the thing. Before Gabriel Bonfim got Bilal, I was kind of on that rope too. It's like, okay, where are we at? Remember who was that fight? Stephen Wonder Boy Thompson, remember? And we're like, ooh, Bonfim maybe beat him. That was a good test.
And then he proved himself against Bilal.
Right.
Now, just to kind of go through the card a little bit.
MVP's not losing to Ruzabov, man. I mean, I like Nursultan, but something about Nursultan, once he gets to that second and third round, he starts slowing down. Nursultan needs to get that first KO.
So you almost want to go like winner versus winner. That's your idea. MVP versus Medic.
You know what I'm saying? Nursultan, you've seen plenty of his fights. He'll get you in that first round, but if he gets in the second and third, I don't know when we're gonna get.
Okay. Now, as far as the card goes, I just wanted to highlight the dude Navajo Sterling. I mean, I'm excited about him. I mean, both of his teammates who are former champions, fought Blachowicz at light heavyweight. Neither of them finished Blachowicz. They took him to a decision. Izzy lost to Blachowicz. Olberg beat him by decision, but Navajo got rid of this dude in the first round, and Navajo's the one who stepped up on short notice to take it.
Yeah.
So I like Navajo Sterling. I mean, he really showed, and apparently this dude's grappling is even better than his hands. Yeah, and I do think that he looked good in there. There was a subtle feint he threw before he stopped Jan with that combo, and it just kind of showed. Also, like after he kind of like threw that two and landed it, you see he kind of like rolled under one of Blachowicz punches and then kind of like pushed him over. It was just a real clean knockout, and you like to see that kind of like flawless victory with these young up and comers, because that shows you something. You know, like you're saying, the Medic versus Rodriguez, you're not really sure. I know Blockowitz a bit older, but I mean Navajo, for what he did to him, how clean it was. I think you
Oh,
got to award
100%.
it. I think you got to, you know,
100%.
you got to co-sign that.
100% agree with that.
Mhm.
He went in there, he smelled blood, and he finished. And he did it in a dynamic. When you get a
Clean.
finish like that, yeah, clean, super clean. You're in
Yeah.
the conversation. You're definitely in the conversation, because now that puts him in a position to get one more win, and now you can call out like, hey, I'm in the top 3. What's up?
Yeah, and Sean
And he's
Strickland,
young, right?
yeah, he is. He's young in his career for sure. And Sean Strickland recently revealed in an interview, he's 28. Sean revealed in an interview that like the UFC will give you a big pay bump, more than normal for accepting a short notice fight. Like they'll bump it up, like, you know, whatever is big in their perspective. So Navajo got a good pay bump to take this fight, ideally. So he's winning. You know, homie's winning.
Yeah.
First round knockout, big pay bump. Already an active 2026. He's got 3 fights in the books this year, 3 finishes.
Wow. Yeah. And
So
it's step by step, right? It's been step by
Mhm.
step.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Who was his
he's
last
doing
fight?
good. Ion Cutelaba, that's another decent win. Bruno
Yeah, that was a
Lopez.
good win.
Bruno Lopez is another good win.
That's another good win. I
Yeah.
agree with you. Those are 3 good wins right there.
So
See, and that's what Medic doesn't have. He doesn't have 3 names like that.
yeah. So I want to say one other thing. As far as the card goes, Alexander Rakic versus Marcin Tybura, it was really boring. I don't really want to get too into it because there's really no point. But it's just, that was a really boring fight. And then I just wanted to, overall, this is what I really am interested in discussing with you, is best card of the year, or like good card but not best card, because a lot of people saying best card of the year because of all the finishes. So what's your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I didn't even watch it.
Okay.
I know I had all the finishes though.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things where you're giving us a bunch of names that no one side of like real diehards. You still would, okay, if we would have brought up this, we bring up this card right now without looking at it, how many names can you really bring up? 2 or 3.
Yeah, actual names like 2 or 3. I mean, I would say the 3 that you would bring up is Eros Medic, D-Rod, Navajo Sterling, Jan Blachowicz.
And then we kind of trail off, right?
You know, there is
I know
Rakic, but it's like, you know, Rakic.
Right. Nothing really ranked. Like, we did see a lot of finishes. Yeah, it was a good card.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no name factor. There's no like nothing juicy outside of that.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of said in the past, though. That's why I've kind of I think we've had this conversation before, but I say like a finish is not.
Space Kid said, "Bro said he didn't even watch it."
Well, the thing is that finishes are not the end all be all. I think when you rate the UFC cards based off of finishes, you're setting the bar super low, and it's like it's not the only grading criteria. You know, how many ranked fighters were on the card? That's a great point that you brought up, right? How many ranked fighters were on the card? Not many. You know, and so also the level of talent that's being showcased, I think, is another thing. We prefer elite talent over just mid talent and getting a knockout. So I thought it was a good card. I wouldn't take it as best card of the year, because I think when you talk about best card of the year,
Oh, it's not, bro. Best card of the year. It's not even the conversation.
you're talking about something that really encapsulated your feels as well. You know, like you felt some type of way about these matchups. You were excited for them. And while these matchups ended in knockout, there was no buildup. There was no excitement for them. And that's all good. But I just think that it's weird when the fan base does that. And the fan base is doing that with this card.
Bro, but like, but
is it because they're so thirsty to like flex the UFC, or like what do you necessarily like, where do you think that comes from?
But here's the thing. In 5 days from now, they're not going to remember any of those names. They'll remember Medic. And some of the diehards will remember Navajo Sterling. If we were to go to any casual, bro, who, what? Oh, they don't even know who Medic is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they don't know it. They don't. You have to be a real diehard MMA UFC fan to get into this conversation. Like when you had said that Michael Oliveira guy, he,
He did
hey,
deliver.
hey. So just everybody knows, run the tapes.
Hmm.
He did call it out. And I saw them talking about Aura, the Orban, not Orban, but
Oben?
no. I just had it on my Rebecca. Rebecca demolished that guy, but the casual people don't know who Rebecca is, bro. Like
Hmm.
yeah, it's good. Rebecca needed that win. The Tufik Massive fight too, like that was a good win, right? Versus Klein. But I'm not over like excited about just like this weekend's card, bro. Like, all right, we get to see uh Gamrot versus Willen. I can't name one other fighter beyond that. If I were to dig deep into it, of course, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna kind of watch this guy.
Yeah,
But
we can get into that card, but just to wrap up, I guess last weekend's card, um, it's tough, man, because I see both sides. I know the fans are also there's a big part of the fan base that's just super degenerate. They like to watch fights. They're proud
yeah,
of
you
the
like to watch
UFC.
knockouts.
They like to watch knockouts. It's just like that can't last forever. I think that's a bit of like the newer hardcores. I think that when you've been watching the sport for like a long period of time, getting excited about that stuff just kind of like dwindles away after a period, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I guess for me, I'm not as excited. Like Jovan Leka knocking out Alexander Popek in the first round. Cool, man. Cool. It's cool. But honestly, even Bogdan Grad versus Dennis Bazooka, I didn't even tune in. I really tuned in for the Michael Oliveira, Oban Elliott, and I watched after that because, the fights were decent. But again, you're looking at like Gilbert Urbina, Vlasto Kepo, Noah Gugnon, Milos Jonkic. So it's tough. It's tough out there for sure.
Well, and here's the thing, like I agree with the UFC has a great product, right? They're able to take these cards that I was like, I wasn't a buy for me, it was a sell. Yeah, I would have watched Medic. And then you look at what they put together as a product was a lot of finishes. So they have to be high, like bro, like that was the best fight card of all time. Just aren't the name values isn't there.
Yeah,
That's the
even
difference.
Roro said, yeah, the name value is not there, and the name value does mean something, and storyline means something. But Rose said the 6 fights on the White House card were better than the 10 finishes in
Well,
Belgrade. Because
well, of
the other thing is, this is what I was trying to explain too when I was trying to list off reasons as to why finishes aren't the end all be all for one of the cards of the year. You got to talk about post fight interviews. You got to talk about finishes, right? The type of finish. How many knockouts of the year were on UFC Belgrade, right? Was the fight of the year on UFC Belgrade? Because if you think about it, you got Josh Hokett in the post-fight interview calling Michelle Obama a man. That's one of the most viral. That's one of the most viral post-fight interviews of the year. You got the fight of the year, Gaethje versus Topuria. You do have Pereira versus Gane that ended in controversy. And then you have some of the other fights too. But all I'm saying is these are the things that make fights almost like cards of the year. I would say the Strickland Hamzat, Joshua Van versus Tatsuro Taira, that might be one of the cards of the year. 2 title fights on there, both 5-round fights, right? And whatever else happened on that card. I mean, that's good shit. 2 exciting fights too.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and there's
the
levels to
build
this,
up
right?
to Hamzat Strickland, the post fight to Hamzat Strickland, the hate, the forgiveness,
If we
all
were
of
to,
it. It all
if
adds
we
to the
were,
card of the year.
yeah, if we were to give data points, right, on what makes a fight card of the year, one of the data points is going to be there's a belt on the line.
Right. And then how many
Like,
belts were on the line?
you know what I mean? So
Multiple
that like when
things.
yeah, multiple things, and then like what you just said was a great point. Like, how many post fight interviews are you interested in?
Mm-hmm.
If we were to look at this card, we might have been interested in the main one.
But barely.
Might, but thank you, barely.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, but it was a good card. I'm not,
It's just
but
it
it's
gets
not
overhyped when they say card of
right.
the year. It's like,
Yeah, it's not the card
guys.
of the year. No, 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 no.
It's like,
That's the thing. Is
guys.
it's very fair weather, right? Like it's what have you in a week from now, 5 days from now, when and when Machada and Islam fight, dude, it's gonna be such old news. I'm like, what card? Who? I don't even
Mm-hmm.
remember who was on it. Medic, someone, Navajo,
Mm-hmm.
won't remember.
And I do see both sides. It's because the hardcores, they will fucking remember, like the soda pops of the
Well,
world.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
he's gonna
yeah. I mean,
fucking remember everything.
and that's why, like, if they're tapping in with us on this show, they know that we can kind of get into the gritty of it, right? I'm
Right.
talking a big, like when you go and you have coffee with your coworkers, and you're bringing up the prelim fight. They're like, "What? Who? Huh?"
Exactly. Exactly.
They're gonna have no idea.
When you're talking to like the homies at the gym, they don't know what's going on with half these
No, it'd
fights.
have to be it's funny when you find a diehard. It's like, "Oh shit, you're a diehard too."
Yeah, because he'll know who the names you're talking about. A lot of the non-diehards, they don't know a lot of the UFC fighters. Okay, let's kind of end this topic and let's go. I mean, this weekend's card.
Want to read the chat now or no?
I was trying to like keep peeping it, but like I'm not reading the random chats.
All right.
Um,
MJ World 28. What's up?
C Blue says the two greatest cards ever were UFC 203 and UFC 225 because the GOAT CM Punk fought on them. Okay. All right, C Blue.
Just missed that chat real quick.
It's just like, bro, I'm trying to show you guys love, and then I gotta read a fucking joke like that.
He pushed it out just like that. Hey, MG World, let me know what city you're from. And against MMA, let me know what city you're from too.
Anakinski says UFC 330 looking terrible. Okay, so UFC Vegas 120, Salkilld versus Gamrot. Should we before we discuss the
I mean,
main
who do you got?
event? Well, I'll tell you. But before we discuss the main event, I just want to look at the card overall. Yeah, so it's not looking good. The guy Manuel Souza, he's somebody to look out for. Okay, Manuel had a good knockout earlier this year.
Well, let's do this. Okay, let's compare this, right? So if we were to take the co-main event for Serbia and look at this co-main event here, who had the better co-main?
Serbia.
They did.
Mhm.
They did. Because it was ranked, right?
Yeah, and a former champion.
There you go, too. That right here, and then you go one below that, the Darren Elkins versus Yadir Del Valle. I mean, okay. Oh, and then you got your favorite, Amanda Lemos versus Alicia. I mean, you got the women
Mhm.
on the main card too. Woo, you know, you love that.
I don't even really like Steven Asplund all that much. I don't mean to hate on him, but I'm here to watch, like, you know.
And then this Billy Ray versus Ty Miller. I mean, really? Like, that's going to start out the card. You know what? You know what's going to happen? So, Ty Miller's going to knock out Billy Ray. And we're like, oh, see, wow, this is the great way to start the card. Ty Miller, he's the next guy. He's going to be the next dude that we got to put
But
our
it's like
eyes
he
on.
knocked out Billy Ray. We don't, you know, we don't learn much. But anyway, it's fine. It's fine. You know what I think it is though? I think I've had a bit of a realization. I think that we're just in a rebuilding phase, and maybe we need to stop being unks. This will be me calling us out. Maybe we need to stop being unks and start to get to know some of these fighters, because I do think it's a rebuilding stage. Did you know that Sean O'Malley's been in the UFC for about 9 years?
No, I didn't know that.
And Ian Gary's been in the UFC for quite a minute too. Not to say that Ian Gary's on his way out by any means, but I'm just saying, like, it's been a while since we've had new stars come in. I think that, like, we're in this stars come maybe once every 5 to 7 years, 8 years.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And I think that, like, there was the crop of the O'Malleys, the Ian Garys, a few years back. And I think right now we're in this lull, and we're kind of like ushering in a new wave of fighters, and some stars are being made. But yeah, I didn't realize how long O'Malley's been in the UFC. So,
yeah, there's some truth to that.
maybe we got to
You got
stop being
Joshua Van now,
unks.
like, kind of becoming that guy, right?
Mhm.
24, 25 years old. Navajo Sterling.
And let me add
You
to
got
this. I'll use this as a segue, right?
Mhm.
Shit, we're just gonna blow right past, but we'll come back to this card. But let me use this as a segue, because this guy Danny Silva. All right, we're going random new topic, but Danny Silva. Shout out to Santa Ana, California, right? Orange County, where I'm from. I'm not from Santa Ana, but I'm from Orange County. Danny Silva, I'll keep it a buck. I was not too familiar with this guy. I saw his fight against that Scouser that he finished in his last bout. He also kind of went viral for saying that he was broke and he needed some money. Obviously, we've talked about that in the past. The UFC doesn't like that, so he didn't get the bonus. Okay. But fast forward, Danny Silva recently made an Instagram post. It came out this week, I think 2 days ago. Same day Allan Nascimento passed away. But Danny Silva basically came out. I could just read it to you. But he basically said, like, he might be done fighting, but he's gonna be trying to, like, still fight. But long story short, this guy's actually pretty good in the UFC. I wasn't too familiar with him, and that's when I was like, damn, I need to stop. I like the fact that this guy wasn't on my radar and he's like 4-1 in the UFC. Like that's on me. Like that's my bad. So I'm just
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
I'm saying. I think I've been like maybe turning somewhat of a blind eye because this guy Danny Silva, once I started looking into him, I'm like, oh, he's actually pretty good, and I haven't really been I wasn't even following him, But here's the post. Danny Silva. He goes, could this have been my last? He almost died from blood clots. I'll kind of give you
Okay.
the. He goes, could this have been my last dance? I don't know. 2 weeks ago, I thought I had a rib out. I pushed through like every fighter does. Friday, I sparred, did my sprints, and my team thought I looked good. I didn't want to make excuses, but I mentioned that my left arm was hurting and my rib was hurting. My team helped with cupping and scraping. That same night, I went for a run at 8 p.m. I did 3 miles. On the third mile, my body was shutting down. I pushed because I won't quit on myself, and 3 miles should be nothing. I got home and there was swelling on the left side of my neck and pec. A good doctor friend of mine recommended I go to the ER to make sure I wasn't having a heart attack. After 9 hours in the ER doing EKGs and CT scans, they came back with some bad news. I had multiple blood clots. They found a
Oh,
massive
damn.
thrombosis in a vein in my neck, and part of the clot had broken off and traveled to my lung, causing a pulmonary embolism. This news has changed my life. Spending 3 nights in the hospital was awful. The fact that I was still sparring and in such good shape just tells me how tough I can be in the face of adversity because I'm in such good shape. I was able to survive. They told me 50% of people don't make it. The fact that I was training, sparring, and pushing myself may have saved my life. But right now, there's still so much I don't know. I'm finally out of the hospital. Hang on. I'm finally out of the hospital, but I have to be on medication for a couple of months. This isn't the first time I've had a setback. My worst enemy has always been me. My mind is strong. It sucks when something out of your control tries to take you away from your dream. I won't give up. I'd rather die trying, as bad as that sounds, especially because I was close to dying. Before that, I want to say thank you to everyone who took care of me during this hard time, my nurses, doctors. Um, I wish the outcome was different. Hope God has a plan. So it sounds like he's saying he's done fighting, and then he's saying he'd rather die than be done fighting. So he seems very conflicted about whether he not or
Well, I
not he
mean,
wants to fight again. Long
it's so
story
it's
short,
so
though, just to conclude this topic, there's a GoFundMe. I told you, right? He was asking
mm,
for the 100K bonus after he knocked out that dude. The UFC didn't give it to him. Also, the UFC isn't a fan of people saying that they're broke and stuff. But fast forward, this guy, his friend, set up a GoFundMe to raise $9,000, to help pay
wow.
for his medical expenses, to help pay for him to recover as well. And so people are kind of like a bit enraged, saying like, why isn't the UFC helping with this?
I
And the
agree.
part of the reason why is because if you don't have a fight booked, then the UFC doesn't help you with
Right, you're off the books.
with medical costs. But it
Yeah.
just goes to show again, like this dude was asking for the money, and you guys didn't give him a bonus because of some petty shit because he asked for it and admitted he was broke. And then look what's happening to him. Like that's some evil shit if true. Like imagine if you did that, right? Imagine if you said he probably could get the bonus, but he broke our principle and admitted
Yeah.
he's broke. So we're gonna be petty and not give him that
We're
100K.
gonna punish him. We're gonna punish
Now,
him.
and I'm not trying to be fucking a drama queen. This is what they accused the UFC of. I'm just saying it bluntly. And now he's got this life altering shit going on. He might never fight again. And he's asking, and his homie, he's not asking for it. He made that clear. He posted on a story saying, I'm not asking for this money. My friend set this up. They're trying to help
Yeah.
me. But his friend set this up for him for 9,000. And
Yeah.
so it's that kind of stuff is like, bro, stop power tripping. If these guys admit they're broke, maybe fix that. Like
Well,
making them more broke and shit. That's
this is
some
a
karma.
scenario. Well, yeah, this is a scenario where the UFC should step in, right? And be like, hey,
It's like not only have they not stepped in yet, but then they didn't even give him the bonus. It's like,
yeah.
okay,
I mean,
you didn't give him the bonus. Can you guys step in and like front the cost? I'm sure
but
they are
that was like,
now.
but that was like 3 months ago, right?
Right. 3 months
Yeah.
ago, the bonus didn't come in, but
So
still,
now we're
it's a twofold thing because now he needs help, and he
right.
wouldn't need the help if you guys would have gave him a fucking bonus like he probably deserved.
But let's just say this. Let's say he
Because
did get the bonus.
I
You
don't mean to
probably
cut you off, but
still
it's
wouldn't
like
need help.
real quick, because Tommy McMillan gets a bonus for being like, give me the bonus. I want to fuck 3 bad bitches tonight in the strip club and go put $50 on 50K on blackjack. That type of thing gets rewarded and gets bonuses, but this humble guy doesn't. It frustrates me.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I'm on your side. The homie, I am Saturday. What is up, Playboy?
You got
See,
any more thoughts on this whole
receive.
thing though? Like, the GoFundMe, his fighting career might be over. Blood clots.
I
Even
think the
Saturday says
whole
Silva is so talented. Remember I told you I wasn't really aware, but even Saturday co-signing, Silva's talented. And I got put on with Silva this week, and I've been seeing like his record, I've been seeing some of his highlights, and I was like, damn, I can't believe I wasn't put on with this dude.
I think I don't know if it was who was in here. One of the guys in the chat said in the Kevin Vallejo's fight was very close.
Yeah. He fought Kevin Viejas. That's his only loss in the UFC.
Right. So a very unfortunate circumstance. Like this goes beyond just fighting, right? This is when your life is on the line, and this goes to show you how, in a blink of an eye, life can be taken from you. Circumstances that are totally outside of your control. Um, so this could have been a very different story where we're talking about another UFC fighter, has passed away. In this instance, some for whatever reason, the universe or God willing, if you're religious, save this man in some way or fashion, and the medical team, save this man, and hopefully he can pick up the pieces, because I don't know what the recovery is like from something like this. I don't know.
Mhm.
Maybe this is just the first part of the story of where his recovery is going to take 6 months, 12 months. I don't know what this all entails. And on the UFC side, bro, like, shame on them.
Yeah. Um I didn't know that if you like got blood clots that it was that serious. Like are you like cuz insinuating that his career is done with, does that mean
I
you
have
can't come back to 100% health after blood clots? Like I assumed you could.
I see. I have no idea. So
I assumed it's one of those things where like there's no lingering effects once you get rid of it. Now a
gotcha.
stroke is a different thing, right? A stroke is when you have like lingering effects. But I thought like a blood clot, if you can clear that, then like you go back to normal. But yeah, I hope he can return. It's weird because he's insinuating he can't.
Yeah, Saturday said, hey, he's nice with it. Just had a huge upset against a kid from the UK that has made out to be the next coming up. So,
Yeah, the
yeah.
UK kid was made out to be a next up and comer. That's what he's trying to say. And
And
that's
just
where he asked for the 100K and they
and
didn't give
just
it
to
to him.
tap in, like, us talking about watching those next up and comers, right? This is what, the diehards do. And I think even a year ago, I used to love watching all those fights, right? All the up and comers.
Mhm.
Like eyeing that next, we would have those conversations. Who's the 15 to 20 guy?
Mhm.
Putting those guys in order, that was a lot of fun. So we'll still try to do that.
Okay. And last thing about the Danny Silva, he's got, like I mentioned already, he got that GoFundMe. They're trying to raise 9,000. I think they're pretty close to reaching the goal. I think you can surpass it too. Even once they reach the goal, you can still keep donating. But if
Mhm.
anyone wants to donate, shit, you can tap into his IG page or something like that. But figure I would let people know, you guys can go donate to help out the homie Danny Silva. And he's actually, a very good fighter.
Mhm.
I've come to find out. So shout out to Danny
Well,
Silva.
hopefully, that this is, we hear the end of the story, right? Where we're like, man, dude, he's back.
Yeah, I think that
Like I
it's
said, I
this
don't
one's a
know what blood clots are. I have no idea.
yeah, and I don't want to be rude about this, but I guess I'll be blunt like I tend to be. But I think that like when it comes to like even donating to a guy like Danny Silva, um Danny Silva is a guy who can make a full-on career out of fighting. There are some fighters who are just there for a good time, and we all know that they're going to have to go get a regular job eventually to some extent. To some extent, right? But it does
Yeah.
it, and I don't mean to be rude, but I'm just saying that Danny Silva seems to be a guy like he actually has a long future in the UFC. There's a lot of money he can make. So like this is a guy who's almost worth helping because like I think it would be money well spent. That's what I'm trying to say. A guy like
Okay.
Danny
So,
Silva donating to him, I think it's money well spent. I think this guy actually has a legit career worth trying to save, worth trying to salvage.
well, and I think big picture, the sad part is that he even has to do that. The UFC should automatically have stepped in and been like, bro, here's Fitty off top.
Right.
We
Shit,
hope you
MMA
heal
Guru
up.
donated 1,000.
Like, hey, here.
MMA Guru donated 1,000.
Mm.
Yeah, he posted it. So shout out to Guru. Okay, so Saturday says, I've had blood clots in my lungs. I got put on blood thinners for a few months and was cool. Hopefully it's easy to overcome.
Mm.
Rose says, my grandma had blood clots in her legs and she's still getting around. Ro also says, maybe he needs an expensive procedure and won't be able to fully recover without it. Just a theory. Okay, just a theory. Anna Kinski says, Silver was supposed to fight Mauricio Barbosa in Sacramento. A shame that fight isn't happening. Well, I mean, it's a better fight for Mauricio, although he might lose. The UFC is $1 billion company. How are they not doing anything? Says Anna Kinski.
Hey, I want to know Saturday, who do you got, Armin or Roofy?
Yeah, Saturday. Armon or Roofy. And okay, so back to Quill and Salkilld, Mateus Gamrot. I've already given my take, so I'll give it, and then you give your take. I'm gonna go Salkilld. I'm gonna go Salkilld. I don't think Gamrot's striking is good enough to open up his wrestling. That's the easiest way I could say. I don't think that he's got good enough striking on the feet to be able to open up his takedowns. You know, for example, I think that Quillen will beat Gamrot in most of the stand-up striking exchanges, which will make it hard for Gamrot to take him down. But if you compare a guy who's got great wrestling like Islam, right, the former lightweight champ, Islam also has great striking. So that's also what opens up his takedowns, is he's able to hurt you on the feet to some people shooting for a takedown. I don't see that happening with Gamrot, you know, in Salkilld. So I'm taking Salkilld, and I know people are saying too, like, does Salkilld have the wrestling and stuff? I think Salkilld is one of these guys. He's a young up-and-comer, and he's a complete fighter. He's an MMA fighter. He's not a kickboxer.
Isn't
He's
he a
not
black belt?
I don't think he's a black belt, but he's not a jiu-jitsu guy. You know, he's an MMA fighter. And so I think that Salkilld is also younger. He has less miles on the speedometer, and all of that will make up for his whatever he lacks in wrestling. His striking will also help make up for his lack in wrestling. You know, but also just one last breakdown is, yeah, okay, he might, let's say Gamrot does get Salkilld up. Once again, Salkilld, he trains everything. He's pretty good at everything, I think. So how long can Gamrot keep Salkilld down, right? Because Tyra was able to take down Josh Van. Hamzat was able to take down Strickland, but they weren't able to keep him down, and they both ended up losing. And so that's what I'll say. I'm confident in the Salkilld pick. I'm confident in it.
Yeah, and if someone in the chat can maybe let us know, is Salkilld a black belt in? Because I thought he was a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
He might be. I don't know.
The Beneo de Rouge told me a lot because he was losing the beginning of that fight.
Salkilld.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you remember?
Not really.
Benil took him up against the cage and was trying to drag him down, was trying to control him on the ground. And we were like, oh, he's not going to make this a stand-up war. There was like 2.5 minutes of doing that, but Benil, what did we say a few shows ago? He didn't hold that position.
Mm-hmm.
We love that, right? Like, don't just take that position and stay there. Like, it's your job to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Benil was smart enough to be like, hey, I know you're good on the feet. Let me try to get you into this end. But Silkilld was able to turn it on him and then beat him. I think he got a knockout. And so that proved a lot to me. Just looking at Gamrot's
Yo, Stebba, chill on your fucking chats, homie.
Just to look at Gamrot's record, he knocked out Fiziev. He beat Dos Santos.
Crazy thing with Gamrot is he got 2 sus-ass losses to Benil and Dan Hooker.
He lost to Hooker. He beat Klein. You should expect that. He lost to Gamrot, got submitted. He beat Ribovics, and he submitted Ribovics. So, the dude's tested, right? And he's a dude. But
he gets respect because he beat Armon. You know, he gets that respect.
I mean, he's a veteran, right? He's in that position for a reason. He's not number 8 in the world for no
C Blue
reason,
says,
right?
I'll kill jiu-jitsu black belt. So it adds to my point.
Yeah.
You know, take him down, but how's that going to go on the ground anyway?
So it was the biggest thing I had it to compare it was I was high on Manuel Torres, and I thought Manuel Torres would get through Fiziev. However, that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And Fiziev turned it on Manuel Torres and showed him, hey, there's levels to this. So my question is Gamrot do the same thing Fiziev does, or is Silkilld really that dude? Quillen really that dude? You're saying he's really that dude?
I think he's really that dude, and I think that Gamrot's style isn't the one to do it to Salkilld because he's not as dangerous on the feet. I think if you find a more dangerous striker on the feet, you could see the Fiziev Torres effect happen. But I don't think Gamrot's good enough on the feet to be the one.
Okay.
Yeah, but we'll
So,
see.
I'm leaning towards Quillen too. Then.
Okay. All right. So MTK and I both leaning towards Quillen. I mean, okay, let's do a new poll then. By the way, the chat, 62% of people voting. Last weekend's card is the card of the year. You guys are just outrageous. Like, it's just outrageous. The hell is up with you guys? Did we not sell it? Sometimes I think they just disagree, like, just to do it.
I mean, there was a lot of knockouts. I get it where they're coming from. But it's
like, how many title fights were on that bitch?
They couldn't name half the fighters on there though.
Yeah.
Without looking it up. You know, not only that, here's a better thing. In a month from now, let's have that conversation. And they're gonna be like, what card? Who?
Mm-hmm.
What? I don't even remember.
But shit, the recency bias. Roro says ban him. He on some stupid shit every stream. Steppa. Yeah, Steppa's so fucking annoying. See what I mean though? Steppa the straight op. Okay, so that's pretty much all there is to talk about on this card, right?
Yeah, I got like 10 minutes just,
Okay. That is fine. Yeah, we're not really going to discuss Billy Quarantillo, Diego Ferreira, but I do think Diego Ferreira is going to take that home for anyone wondering. And Diego is the favorite, -185. So.
Like, see, I'm not super hyped about that fight. I'm like, all right. I mean, cool. Okay, they're both on a lot. They're both on a loss. Like, how is that on the co-main event? They're both on a loss.
They really had to like pull this one together. You know, the definition of a UFC fight night.
It's wild. They're both on a loss. Did you see that Cain Velasquez video?
I mean, I saw some. Honestly, I was kind of like, I was cringing at some of it.
Why?
I saw Ariel posting like something about Cain talking about when he was a kid, he used to like fucking choke himself.
I know, I didn't see that part, but this is another video.
Oh.
This is a video saying how does he feel about what happened? And he goes, honestly, I can live with what happened. He goes, I wouldn't want my son to grow up questioning why didn't you ever do anything?
Yeah, it's from the same thing. Ariel's team, they did a whole documentary, like a whole life story. So those are the thing I referenced was from that as well. But I did see that clip, and you know that's poetic, I think. And I think, I mean, to me, that screams like that's the realization he came to, either before or while he was behind bars. You know, and that's good enough for me. Shit, that's good enough for me.
And not only that, it's good enough for him. You know, right?
Yeah. Most importantly,
he admitted it was a mistake, but he goes at the same time, if I wouldn't have done that decision, I would have been here still.
Well, he couldn't live with his son asking, you know, why didn't you do anything?
But not only that, and just in general, just like, man, you that would eat at me, bro. Like if I knew someone did something to my little boy, I would lose it.
Some shit. Time well spent for Cain. You know, yeah, he lost out on that shit for his son, but it's something that needed to happen. Yeah. I think it's something that needed to happen. I know it's a little bit taboo. Nobody should be going to jail and stuff in prison, but shit, I think, you know, after hearing what Cain said in that little snippet, you know, what happened needed to happen. He doesn't regret it. You know, he did his time like a man. You know, he got his lick back, and so to speak, like a man. And, you know, yeah, I mean, I like Cain. Cain's cool with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was talking about some other things. Like it's a very in-depth documentary. You got to be on like some type of emotional timing to watch that. Like if you're kind of like disassociated with your emotions at the point in time, might not want to be the documentary.
Where's the documentary on?
I think on Uncrown's YouTube channel. Maybe I haven't seeked it out, but I saw Ariel posting a lot of clips. He talked about like being infatuated with being on the edge of like life and death when he was a kid. And I think he said he used to like put his neck on the edge of the couch until he was like gonna pass out. And then he would like come back, and he's like that, and he spoke about that, and I was like, oh, I don't want to like listen to that right now. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm good. But I did see the clip.
Hey, Roro, I was high on Bahamondes as well. He's fighting at welterweight right now. I don't, I can't see any difference. If Bobby Green's gonna beat you,
Yeah, we
nothing.
don't.
You gotta,
Yeah,
you gotta, you gotta get on a 4-fight win streak for me to get back on that train.
yeah, Roro. Just any good positive thoughts you had about Ignacio Bahamondes? Just toss that shit in the trash, homie.
Oh no, he called him out. He was like, nah, like,
No, I know. He says I was high on Ignacio, but he turned out to be pretty mid. Yeah, all those high thoughts. Yeah, just toss him in the trash.
and somebody just
He's
said too,
mid.
they gave credit to Bobby Green. Like, hey, I give a lot of credit to Bobby Green what he's doing right now. He has a 12-month window. That's
Mm-hmm.
all I'm saying.
Okay. I wanted to just talk about one thing. It's not like we need to get really crazy into it, but Dana got a lot of shit because basically, like, the UFC posted that Allan Nascimento had passed away from a heart
I saw
attack,
that.
and Dana obviously posted it to his story. And that, which, to be honest with you, I don't think Dana necessarily controls all of his stories. I think that's what happened there. Like, do
Yeah,
I
it's
think
bad.
Dana?
It's bad.
It's bad timing for sure. But what I think happened is I think, Dana's assistant reposted Alon Nascimento passing away, right? To use his platform to spread the message. I think Dana's dumbass hopped on his own IG and posted a story of him smoking the cigar. But, Dana didn't post the previous story, so it didn't, like, he didn't know what happened at the time, right?
But you gotta be smarter than that, though,
But the
right?
funny thing is too, what I would say is, like, after everyone talked shit, Dana kept it up for the full 24
Yeah.
hours.
See that and it's just it's distasteful, right?
He doubled down on it. It was clear that people were pissed, and he said,
Yeah.
"Fuck it, I'm not apologizing."
Yeah.
Yeah, people are speculating it was to celebrate the signing of Usman Nurmagomedov, but again, it's just like you. I mean, you gotta read the room a little bit.
Read the room.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and they're
Read the room.
saying,
And
like, another example, he's tone deaf.
it's almost like one of those things where it's like, when someone passes away, like a military, they put the flag down, right? I
Hmm.
think it's for like 24 hours. Like, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong how long they do it. Um, you give it a grace period, 24 hours. Then you go and you start, 12 hours, whatever, the next day, that's like you just said, it's just distasteful. Read the room, like dishonors the person almost. And you could have done that. You could have separated it, or you could have just taken it down and redone it.
Hmm.
No one would have said anything if you redid it. No one cares.
You could easily even post it on your story. Said, "Took the post down. That's my bad. Rest in peace, Alon Nascimento."
That would blow him up
And,
even more. Like,
and
I'd
it's
be
like
like,
not.
oh, bro,
It's not a
thank
big
you.
deal. We all suspected it was an accident too.
Right.
Like, but at least acknowledge it. But he didn't. Typical Dana. But Tyler Betts, shout out to Tyler for being a 4-month member. He says, "Yo, is that young George Lopez? Got to be talking about you." Now we got MTK's doppelganger, George Lopez.
Take that. I'll take that.
Franklin says 12-month window. Haha, for real for Bobby Green. So you think in 12 months Bobby Green falls off a cliff?
Think you're gonna get knocked out? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Let's play this out. Want to play it out? He
I'm
gets Quillen.
starched.
Oh, he gets Nolan.
Yeah, he's getting starched.
Who's the guy they just knocked off? There's another guy on there that was just in the top 15. He was a Mexican dude. He gets Fasiv.
Bobby versus Fiziev.
Yeah.
I think they fought already. I think Bobby beat Fiziev, crazy enough.
So run it back.
Run it back. See who's more cooked now. See who's aged more. Tell me Bobby didn't beat Fiziev.
Oh no. Bobby lost that one.
Oh, he lost.
Yeah.
But Bobby styled on Fiziev. For sure he did.
Really?
Ruby Z's asking Loco Torres question mark. That's not who you're talking about, right? The Mexican guy?
I mean, give Bobby Green Manuel Torres too.
Yeah, that's a tough fight. Well, because they're bigger. The lightweights are bigger now.
He's younger.
Quillen, Loco Torres, Tom Nolan, these are big lightweights.
Right.
And it's because they're young too, so they can be big and skinny like that, right? And that's the thing about Bobby is he's a bit older, so it's not working out good for him. Okay, wait, just a couple. I'm getting distracted.
And simply, like I said, I don't want to take anything away from Bobby Green. I love what he's doing right now, right?
No,
I
Bobby's
really do.
cool.
Yeah, I love what he's doing, and
You're
I
just
love
being
that
real about it.
He's a real fighter, right? You can tell that. Even I love that stream he did with AB and them, because he was like, bro, this is what we do. Like, I'm not running from this. Like, what's up? Let's go. He's built for that.
Right.
He is that dude, you know. But eventually, Father Time will get there. I'd rather him go him. If he was 32 right now, I'd have a whole different perspective.
Yeah.
If he was 32, I'd tell him go drop down to 145 and make a run for it. But that's not the case.
I hear you. Bobby made his best run during COVID, by the way. Okay, what I wanted to bring up is so basically, should the UFC, we'll end it on this one. Should the UFC sign Usman or Magomedov? I don't know if you watched his knockout in PFL recently.
I did.
Okay, so you want them to sign him?
I mean, of course.
How do you think he
got to.
does? How do you think he does?
Okay, that's a good question. Like, who does he get first? You know,
I could pull up the rankings and just try to, spitball it.
does he get Bobby Green?
That'd be kind of fun, huh? A little litmus test. Bobby Green becomes the litmus test after his viral sparring session. Got to be a ranked guy, right?
He got to be a ranked guy.
Should it be like young up and comer, like a Tom Nolan type guy? I like the Tom Nolan matchup.
That's a good matchup.
It kind of lets us know right off the back, where do you stand?
Yeah.
You know, because if a guy like Tom Nolan beats you, who's not even close to being champion yet, it really lets us know. But then if you beat Tom Nolan, it gives you a lot of breathing room for future matchups. Patty versus Usman. Shit. Grapplers. Patty's a grappler.
And you're putting him right in the fire, right?
Right in the fire. Top 5. Former title contender, right? Former title challenger.
Any guy. Max, Charles, Patty.
Do you go top 5 or do you go top or 6 to 10? That's my question.
What about this? BSD.
That's number 8. So you go 6 to 10?
I mean, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I would be in favor of 6 to 10, 6 to 11.
My question is, like, in the past, what have they done with guys like this that have, like, they signed up?
Patchy mix, right?
They don't give you a top 5 guy right off the bat.
Well, okay, so I remember Michael Chandler got Dan Hooker.
Renier de Ridder, he didn't fight. He fought like a 10-15 guy first.
Yeah, Patchy Mix got Mario Bautista.
So that's a top 10 guy. That was a top 10
guy. Yeah. It's usually top 10 guys because usually it's like it's like a statement, like I said with the Tom Nolan thing, is like one of the average guys in the division beats like the best guy from another promotion.
Right. That's true. An average guy typically will beat the best
guy from the other promotion. Right. That's usually how it goes. RDR debuted against Gerald Mearshart, so that was like a more low level. But they invested in RDR. I think that context matters. They didn't necessarily invest in Patchy. They wanted to prove.
Okay, so
let me see Pitbull. Pitbull, he also was a former Bellator champion. Patricio, let's see who he debuted against. Patricio debuted against Yair Rodriguez and took that L too. Again, like a 6 to 10 guy at the time.
I think he may have been top 5.
Maybe it was last year.
But Grant Dawson is another. That's a good name for Umar.
Yeah, I think the one thing that this is the thing that shoots Grant Dawson in the foot is that he's so fucking like undesirable to watch. Like you're never gonna get an Usman matchup.
Maybe.
You know, like that's what I think. Because the UFC, let's say Grant Dawson beats Usman. We got our next superstar.
No.
Yeah. Tom Nolan beats Usman. It's like, okay, Aussie boy.
You can sell that.
Yeah. So
I agree.
That's why I don't need to even hate on Grant Dawson. It's like, but Grant, if you want these opportunities, you need to understand that.
Yeah.
You know.
You understand play the game better.
Right. Because.
Yeah, but no, I was gonna tell you like the Umar Nurmagomedov. I'm surprised I can even say his name now. Say that 3 times.
Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, you know. Hey, if I get it right once, I'm good.
It should just stop while you're ahead.
Right. The way he won, because we saw him fight in San Diego, you and I together, and I was like, hey, he didn't. I think he got a decision win that day. But this was a win. That was a win.
Right.
That was the way to end it. Like, all right, let me get in the UFC now.
And here's why I think he should go to the UFC, is because like I think that fight that we saw, and then also the Paul Hughes fight that he had like after that, I think Like his tough fights have already been made in PFL. Like you said, right? When we watched that fight, that didn't end in a finish, right? I think it was like a decision.
It was a decision.
Paul Hughes, I
I
think,
wasn't impressed.
right. And then Paul Hughes, those fights ended in decision too. You may not have been impressed, but what I will say is that those were higher level opponents.
Mm.
And he's beat everybody. Now it's getting lower and lower level. He's
I see
already
what you're saying.
knocked off
Oh,
the
that's time.
best. Yeah,
No,
so
it's
it's like
time.
you got to go to the UFC, man, because literally the competition you're facing now is getting worse.
And it's your camp, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's what they do. They
Mhm.
don't mind slow playing those and building their guys up and getting. Islam's not in a division. If Islam was still in a division, it wouldn't have happened.
Apparently that's to complete the legacy too. They needed 3 of them as the lightweight champ. So
Right.
Usman's like
So
the completion.
right. So I don't know if he's that good, but we're gonna find out. I'm not sold on him on that point yet. Like
Well, it's interesting because we saw him beat that
like
Shebuli guy.
I don't think he beats Elia.
Yeah, right. I mean, we want to see it. We want to see it. But with the context of what I just said about like, him fighting his tougher opponents already in Bellator or PFL, but he took them to decisions. And these tougher opponents of his, how would those guys do in the UFC?
And here's another. I'm
So
wondering, like, how big is he?
I think he's about 6 foot. I could look it up real quick.
Is he 6 foot? I don't remember being that tall.
Usman Nurmagomedov,
He
22-0,
he didn't seem bigger
5'11".
So Islam's 5'11" too, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, he's a little bit taller. I was gonna say like maybe I was thinking more 145 for him, but all right.
Yeah, and then so the fight we saw was Alexander Shabali, and that ended in unanimous decision. Then he fought Paul Hughes twice. Both of those ended in decision. But his last 2 fights, Alfie Davis and Archie Colgan, that's worse. These guys are worse.
Yeah.
So definitely needs to come to the UFC. It's funny though because I reacted to like the fights, or one of the, like, Dana basically, like, they asked him after the UFC card, like, Usman's a free agent now, you down to sign him? And he's like, yeah, like all giddy and shit. And it's just funny to me because Dana is signing all of Jake Paul's talent. You know how the MVP PFL merger happened? Like Robelis Despagne, he fought on the MVP card, right? The Nate Diaz, Mike Perry MVP card. UFC just re-signed Robelis. I think they only re-signed him. They cut him already. They cut ties with him, but they re-signed him because it's like, fuck Jake Paul. We're gonna keep undercutting this guy.
Just to jab him. Yeah.
And then also the Dan Hooker Parnasse main event in Paris. That got announced, right? Before they announced the PFL MVP merger. I think that the UFC caught wind of the PFL MVP merger and started taking up all their talent. And so now they signed basically the third guy, Parnasse, Robelis, and then Usman. I mean, those are their 3 most promising fighters, and they're taking them all right off rip. Off rip.
That's the move.
You think I'm curious to hear your take because you're not as like well versed about like the business per se. So it's actually interesting to hear your take. MVP PFL and then how that ties in with MMA and like competing with the UFC. Like, what's your kind of like distant, view of it?
I mean, I think it's smart.
Because a lot of people are saying, oh, this is great for MMA and be happy. But I guess my question with that being said is like, what do you think the chances of success are in actually being a competitor with, the UFC?
It's one of those things that one of the guys in the chat said, "Brother, who this?"
Go closer to the mic though.
Yeah. What I would say is that it's almost like that Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when will they really be able to put together a product, like a legit like the UFC has? When you're talking about the NFL of the MMA, that could take 10 years.
And then with the UFC taking the talent from under you.
Yeah. I mean, so it's gonna be, to me, it's still gonna be, because they do boxing too, right?
They will be mixing in boxing, yes.
Right.
That's
So
what
they're
basically the antithesis of the UFC. You know how the UFC doesn't let their boxers in Zuffa? Jake Paul's like, okay, we'll let you do that here.
Yeah.
It's
Now the question is
the antithesis.
So here's the thing too. It's like, Jake Paul will probably be able to attract a name, one name, and pay him a lot of money and get some boxers and set up these cards, right? But it's so much more than that. It's so much more. You're talking about probably 1,000 pillars that you need to put up to build that house, and he may have 5 right now, and he
Mhm.
needs thousands. He's up against Goliath.
And if
It's
you
gonna
think
take.
about it, and yeah, I agree with you. And if you think about it from like the perspective of the names that the UFC just signed that were previously under contract with Jake Paul, Robelis de Spain, that's a headliner bout for PFL, is it not?
I don't even know who he is.
Oh, Robelis is that 6'7" Taekwondo guy,
Yeah,
the
see,
the black Cuban dude with the
that's
blonde
how much I
hair.
just. That's how much. Oh, okay, I know who he is. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's kind of a main event for PFL standards. Um, Usman, he just got done headlining. And then this Parnace guy, he's scheduled as the main event for UFC Paris against Dan Hooker. So obviously he would also be a headliner for Jake Paul, right? And MVP. So to add to your point, right? When you talk about you got to acquire main event type of fighters, right? To put on for these shows with fan bases, before you even started, right? The UFC just ripped your top 3 from under you.
This is why it's a pillar, like a lot of pillars, right? Because those 3 guys you just named would probably take 2 years to get to the point where they're can become stars.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that's going to happen overnight. So it's a lot of still work even the UFC has to do in order to make those guys a star.
Mm-hmm. Because
So,
Robelis isn't headlining a UFC card.
right.
Yeah, he's
I
not.
mean, we don't know what we have yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what happens when you're playing NCAA football, college football, and you go to the pros. A it's a changer. It's a game changer. Even the number 1 draft pick could be washed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that kind of solidifies it. MVP. I think to also conclude it, it's like what's interesting to me is well, you know, I will say that okay, put it like this, right? Dana coming into boxing with Zuffa Boxing, you've seen what he's done this year. But you see the dollars he's throwing out to get these names, right? To actually compete, right? Dana trying to compete with boxing and he's promoting AJ Fury, Ryan Garcia, Conor Benn, right? Terrence Crawford, Canelo. Dana's actually like getting these big names and paying big money for them. I think that's what it takes to compete with the other big dogs. I don't see that happening with MVP and PFL. They're not putting on shows like what Dana's doing. Because Dana's given the example. Dana is to boxing what Jake Paul is to the UFC, except Jake Paul can't do what Dana's doing to boxing to the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
Is that making sense? It's kind of like a web there.
Because that's like you saying, okay, hey, Jake just signed Joshua Van.
Right. Let's see you do
Jake,
it.
yeah, Jake just signed Patty Pimblett.
And you're talking about, and that would be the equivalent because who would have predicted Dana was going to promote Terrence Crawford versus Canelo? Who would have predicted that Dana was going to
Right.
promote Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn? You know, it's groundbreaking news. It's like, how the fuck is this guy securing this?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And I don't see that happening I do not see that happening. They're already off to a bad start because Dana's already doing to Jake what he's doing to boxing too. Dana's about to acquire Usman, their biggest guy,
Their
just like he's
best.
doing to boxing. Dana's getting the biggest stars in boxing over to Zuffa, and he's almost doing the same thing to fucking Jake. No, the moral of the story: stay the fuck away from competing with Dana. Dana is going to destroy you. Like
Yeah.
I think he's low key blessed with good timing too, because who could have controlled the fact that a week or two or the week of the PFL MVP merger, they lose their biggest star in Usman Nurmagomedov. He fights out his contract. Like that is good timing. There's
It's
nobody
perfect
who
time.
could control that, you know?
That's true.
But on top of the good timing, UFC got ahead of it and re-signed Robelis, re-signed Parnace, right? Before PFL and MVP announced their merger. So it's
Mhm.
like you got good timing and then you got diabolical fucking like
Good
intel.
strategy.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
like, man, you are not like moral of the story, boxing, MMA, stay the fuck away from Dana. Stay the fuck away from Dana. And I don't even like Dana and Zuffa boxing necessarily because I think they're gonna bring down the fighter pay in the grand scheme of things. But it's like shit. You listen, Dana doing his thing. And like we didn't really believe Dana was gonna do his thing in boxing, and he kind of low key is. Like that whole watch what we do by the end of the year. It's like, damn, Dana, you motherfucker, you were right. By the end of the year, you would have promoted all these crazy ass fights.
I still haven't watched one Zuffa boxing match, so.
Well, take it from me, right? Because I'll put it like, I'm tied in with everything, but I'm also highly critical. I can't criticize Zuffa boxing as it's going on. It's getting better. It actually is. So we'll see. But that's, I'm kind of like giving credit where it's due. And it's like, man, also though, last thing I'll say.
Well, he knows what he's doing.
Right. But he knows what he's doing, but he's using Turki Al-Sheikh's money to get the job done. Right. So he knows what he's doing, but then it also takes bottomless pockets. I don't think Jake Paul's gonna, Jake Paul ain't no Turki Al-Sheikh, bro. Jake Paul's rich, but he ain't no fucking Turki Al-Sheikh. Anyway, that can conclude it. I'll just read out a couple chats. Jew coming in late. Ruffy versus Armand and Pantoja versus Van, UFC 331. Breaking. Yes. We got you, homie. We reacted to it at the beginning. We didn't really speak about Pantoja versus Van, though. Do you have any just prediction on who wins that?
God, I don't know why I think Van's gonna win.
I think Van's gonna win it because Pantoja, it's bad juju. Yeah. That shit is bad juju. What happened to Pantoja?
It is. It is. Man, I hate to say that. I'm a big Pantoja fight.
It's the same thing when Tyra beat Brandon Moreno. It was bad juju. Moreno got bad juju after that. He's been losing ever since.
And there's something to be said when you get injured. It's always hard to come back.
And then you're fighting the same guy who you got injured against. I think it's like multiple things. He's got that win over you. You want it back so bad you think, oh, it's fraudulent. He beat me when I wasn't injured. It's mental too. It's mental too. Okay. We're just reading a few more chats. Armand and Ruffy scheduled for 5 rounds too. I don't think it's going 5. And I did see Saturday saying like Armand should be a 700 favorite.
Yeah, I saw that.
Rose says, fuck MVP for real. I'm always advocating for UFC to do better by the fighters and production, but I respect UFC enough to know it's actually disrespectful to think PFL/MVP is a number 2. UFC's been number 1. Yeah, I mean, yeah. There is no number 2 to UFC.
That's off top.
Dylan says, Castro, as a journalist, how important is it for fighters to have media training? I don't necessarily think it's important for fighters to have media training. I just feel like fighters should understand the benefits of like media. Meaning like they don't need to police themselves in what they say. They could say whatever they want. It's just you need to be aware of like how to use it to your benefit. But I don't think that's what media training is called. I think when people say media trained, it means people who are like very down the middle. They don't ruffle any feathers. I think that UFC fighters just don't understand the benefits media brings to them. A lot of them, so
they're not educated.
Yeah, because they fight. So, I mean, I wouldn't fully blame them, but it would help them. Pantoja via second round sub, says C Blue. Roro says, and PFL MVP on behalf of Jake Paul is overconfident and is blowing smoke up everyone's ass. Well, it's funny because, like, yeah, they are promising things so early. And it's like MTK said, you got years until you can even compete. So why the fuck are you talking like you can compete now? By the time you actually can compete, all this shit you talked will have fizzled out. So.
And you still have to keep building fighters. It's a long road.
Yeah. All right. Well, shout out to everybody who watched. That's the Wednesday show with MTK. Shout out to Dylan and C Blue, Roro, Jew, Tony, Sal, Manny, Ruby Z, Tyler Betts, Franklin. Shit, everybody in the chat. Thanks for tuning in, boys. I think I'll go live again this evening. It'll be a surprise if I do or not, but I'm thinking I will. So just
all right, double tap.
Yeah, chill, and then I'll be back on in a couple hours. All right, boys. Peace out. Thanks for watching. Like the stream on the way out, and if you are not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. And yeah, Wednesdays with MTK, Solo